He has shown the Masha and the Akai, you can never really shut him down. But at least you want to give yourself a more comfortable laning phase with the CC ban.
I'm wondering if they're just gonna go all out and actually go for more dive here, because the Cho, the Hive, as well as the Hayabusa, they're heroes that like to move forward. And we see that Aurora, they're batting out the CC, and CC is one of the heroes that can penetrate over to the backline and directly go against the gold laner. So maybe Bigatron Alpha, if they're gonna consider a hero, I'm really thinking, do they want to go all in? Like, I'm not saying Lapu Lapu, but a style of hero like Lapu Lapu that can just immediately jump to the backline and immediately threaten heroes like Iritel, and then you know, just pray for the best.
I'm gonna can go all in. I was thinking of like the thought, but I guess Badang technically it's sort of like there's a potential to all in too.
What other heroes? I mean, technically you could use the Cho EXP and then something else like a high loss. Honestly, even a high loss is fine. Just open the glorious pathway just so that you can, you know, everyone can dive in. So there are options. There are options. It doesn't have to be a fighter. It can be a tank as well. So now Bigatron Alpha, like, both teams have not shown their mid laner so far, which is very, very interesting here. Louis, Eve, Farsa, Jushin is out.
We'll find a way.
Vexana is... Okay, Vexana gets picked up. Okay.
We still have the Aurora for RORA for UA. The Valentina is also one of his most comfort picks. Yeah, there's some good ultimates for the Valentina to steal too, if Aurora wants to go for that. Again, you have this flex that you need to review right now, right? I mean, this Khalid, we still don't know where he is going to go. I don't...
Wait, Lucas is still available.
That too, yeah.
Yeah. Just to notice, the Lucas has been true, and if they pick up the Lucas, then Bigatron Alpha, they do have the option to just pick up a Phoveus, and technically Phoveus can jump onto the backline. We've seen the Phoveus Inferno Pursuit onto the Irital. Not enough damage to kill, but definitely enough to disrupt. So they themselves, Aurora did themselves pick up the Phoveus and the Valentina. So this Phoveus is pretty good because, again, there's a lot of dashes from Bigatron Alpha, and Phoveus can kind of protect. And the glue.
Wow, I love this so much. At first, when I saw the CC ban, I was thinking, is this leading to a Phoveus pick? But then you have the glue as a response, which basically just denies what you want to do as a Phoveus, right? Like, you feel so helpless going into a glue matchup. But wow, I mean, both teams really showing their flair. Of course, BTR, there's been a lot of hype around them, especially today is the first time we're going to see Super Ken playing here instead of TOZ, so that is also exciting.
You know what, Husky, you've convinced me. I really feel like the Phoveus will have a good game here. Because so far, I mean, we haven't been reliable by talking about the matchups. You're like, oh, this is gonna be, oh wait, no, he's winning.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, maybe the Phoveus will win against the glue, and then the glue will be like, what am I supposed to do in this game?
That would be a revelation, though. I want to see that. Game 1 kick off right now. We got Aurora on the blue side. We got Bigatron Alpha on red. Let's see the jungle path in. It is going to be completely inverse. Both junglers starting as purple first.
Yep. So right now, again, like I said as a joke, but also they might have a way to deal with the glue, because they should understand that this glue is an option that Bigatron Alpha can use. So I feel like this is not them lacking. It's just that they understand the possibilities of what could be picked, and they're just ready for it. Right now, Renegade going up against Pamela. Looks like they're just making sure that the game doesn't speed up all that much. Pamela, he doesn't really have a choice. Going up against Renegade on this Khalid, he can force a lot of damage onto anyone for this mid trio. Might as well be Pamela here. So right now, Bigatron Alpha, they're just making sure that the Hayabusa gets free farm. Hayabusa can do a lot in the early game, but I don't know. I don't know if he can catch Yue. That's the biggest thing. I feel like he can impact the mid lane, but Yue plays mid very, very safely. I think it's gonna be hard to gank him.
Even for Luke, his approach with the glue, usually you would go for the flicker, right? For that snap engage. But Luke is going sprint this game. Talk about trying to catch up to people. Not just that, right? You can easily run away, I guess. I don't remember the last time I saw a sprint on glue, but it's definitely going to be quite a challenge to get away from an already sticky hero.
Usually people use the glue to really be harassing a lot in lane. Speaking of which, Renegade is taking quite a bit of damage, having to use the flicker to get out of that sticky situation. But yeah, usually you pick up the sprint to basically spam your first and second skill just to chase after people. It's not the best for the surprising mages, but it's definitely usable if you just want to go for 1v1 trades.
Let's jump onto Pamela, be terrified, gone on. Renegade and Edward onto Pamela. Pamela able to get away. Meanwhile, it's gonna be the Shadow use Super Can in and out. Red Trees the turtle tries to get away, but no Shadow kill means first blood for RORA.
Yeah, I'm not so sure if it's worth it. Especially it looks like Luke is gonna get taken down as well. So trading 2 for a turtle, I would say it's definitely not worth it. If you just lose one member, it's kind of okay, but you don't want to lose your jungler, especially because Hayabusa is definitely item dependent. Overall, Aurora, it's a small lead, but it's a lead that I believe Bigatron and Alpha can really feel in this game.
And even lost your glue 2 topside. Emman was in a 1v1 against Domain, but ends up coming out on top, right? Even in terms of experience. So, I mean, for Bigatron Alpha, it's still manageable. Aurora not really breaking too far ahead just yet, at least not with such an early engage. But we are seeing the power of Aurora. Plenty of damage and crowd control, but also their decision making in these small skirmishes, right? Being able to focus fire down key targets.
By the way, just to remind you, if Luke doesn't have a good game, we're not allowed to talk about hero interactions anymore.
Okay.
We'll just be like, okay, it's this versus that. No, things could happen. Anyways, right now, Pamela so far hasn't been super aggressive. As I say that, he goes for a kick onto Renegade. It looks like Renegade is gonna get taken down. Super Ken gets the kill. Okay, I guess we can't talk about them being aggressive fast. I'm learning. Don't talk. That's the lesson of the day.
They say every tournament has its own taboo, and apparently SBS so far is just anything is a taboo.
Gonna make our jobs a little bit difficult. That one's for sure. Turtle's gonna spawn very soon. Pamela doesn't have his way of the dragon yet. Looks like he's able to get out of there, and he has provided vision. He saw that Aurora has 3 members there already positioned for the sort of fight. But looks like Luke is the first to rotate over to mid. Edward's gonna come back a little bit later. But looks like this is gonna be a big fight here, Husky, for the turtle.
Bigatron Alpha having essentially the full team around. You can say the same for Aurora. White Emma, he's trying to push Domain away. Renegade needs a chip damage. Luke turns on to him. He's going to be ready sandstorm to the back. Pamela getting terrified. Could not get a kickoff, so he is gone. Luke also explodes. And unfortunately for Moreno, he will have to flicker out of the way. Aurora wins with 2 kills.
Yeah, and I would say the engage is crazy. And I believe Yue, like, I think a big burst of damage on Delu is actually coming from Yue. Now Edward is just zoning him and as well as Super Ken off. Domeng is able to get that turret, and this is not looking good for Bigatron Alpha, because honestly, looking at the draft, in terms of scale, I kind of feel like Aurora's scale is just a little bit better compared to Bigatron. I could be wrong, because, you know, we've been wrong the entire day.
Aurora is starting to build a bit of a lead too. I do wonder where this glue kind of fits into the equation right now. Both times, Aurora have been able to turn on Luke, where it really felt like that shouldn't be the case, where your glue survives a lot longer. But losing that top tier 1 is also going to make Emma's life slightly harder. Losing that bit of space that he wants to farm with. It feels so unsafe. RORA switching their attention to the bot side, and that is going to spill over to Super Ken too, who wants to be able to farm.
Yeah, looking at the gold difference here, if you're looking at the EXP, it's actually quite a big difference. 700 gold. Yeah, that's a pretty big difference here. And Pamela is looking for an opportunity to get a kick, but really no kick is to be found. Super Ken goes in, maybe able to clear the minion, but Pamela actually goes in.
Finds the kick into a Terrify. And that is going to be Domain and Renegade both taken down. But Luke does trade his life for it. Bigatron finds a positive trade. And
Oh,
it's
no!
gonna be equalized instantly. Good re-engage. Super Ken falls.
Right now, Demon Kite is using this this CEO very, very well. Able to wait for the engage. Just waiting for his cooldown so that he can actually stun someone up and then follow up with the damage. He's playing this very, very patiently. Using Renegade very, very well, where just letting Renegade take the brunt of the damage and then goes back in. Something that Aurora is doing quite well is really forcing their front lines to absorb most of the abilities coming in from Bigatron Alpha, and then afterwards leaving Demon Kite very free, leaving UA very free. Maybe Bigatron Alpha, they need to start seeing this this situation unfold and be a little bit more careful whenever you see Renegade as well as Edward.
And then knock up a Pamela. No kick this time. Renegade tries to look for Radiant Sandstorm only onto Pamela, so Edward will be forced away by Luke as they take care of Renegade and Demon Kite. Bigatron Alpha this time finds a way better engage. Luke finally in a more durable state will survive. Bigatron Alpha finds the first positive trade of this game. Looking for the mid-tier one. Want to force him away. Domain will get the Purify out Demon from Eman. So Bigatron Alpha is able to get the turtle and also the orange buff to go over the Super Ken.
One of the biggest difference in that fight compared to the fights before was that Pamela hold on to the Weight of Dragon, because we saw that Demon Kite went in after seeing the Eternal Guard going down. He felt like all of the crowd control abilities have been used, so he feels a bit safer to engage. But then Pamela just goes in, use the Weight of Dragon onto Demon Kite, and after Demon Kite gets taken down, that's the goal for Bigatron Alpha to continue on to the fight.
So, complete equalized state. They're gonna turn it around, extend the lead. Renegade misses the ultimate. He's gonna get terrified, and he is gone. A 1-for-1 trade that quickly goes in the favor of BTR. Edward and Renegade fall again.
Yeah, Super Ken now is getting a bit of a groove here, especially after he secures his Blade of Despair. Gonna deal quite a lot of damage, especially if he's able to isolate anyone. So this is very good for Bigatron Alpha. Getting 2 good pickoffs has really generated a lot of momentum for them.
UA steals the split just to get away. But we are also seeing the damage potential of Eman. Actually hits like a truck. Super Ken was trying to find an assassination, couldn't find it. Next objective, which is the Lord, coming up on the top side of the map. Bigatron Alpha, they're gonna have a bit of control of the game, but once more, it is pretty even in terms of net worth.
Something to take note. Throughout the fight so far, it's always Bigatron Alpha initiating. So far, Aurora, they had one engage-ish. They have an engage-ish where Renegade as well as Edward is poking the front line, but then Bigatron Alpha collapses onto them. Not saying good or bad, it's just an observation here where Bigatron Alpha and Aurora, Bigatron Alpha is the one that is more often initiating the fight, and Aurora is the one being forced to respond.
It does feel like it. We've seen plenty of attempted counter engages from Renegade, and of course it's not the easiest skill to land, right? We have flickers, we have purifies and dashes from Bigatron Alpha. This lore is going to be crucial. I mean, you have a neutral bottom wave, so the teams aren't too worried about it so far, which is why Super Ken wants to force potential reaction. In fact, he's planning himself on the bottom side to get there with the push in once it crashes. No, actually decides against it. So it is still going to be neutral.
Right now, this is actually very good for Bigatron Alpha for 2 things. Number one, Hayabusa can play the side lane so well because Hayabusa as well as Suyo likes the Lord Dance. Hayabusa doesn't really. Oh, Conceal being used. Renegade hit no one.
Just get a flicker out of Moreno, and that's pretty much it. Gotta be very careful to walk into all these pokes of BTR. Super Ken has already set up a slow push on the bottom wave. The turret is down. As much as RORA wants this dance, it feels like eventually you would just have to stop playing into BTR's hands, right? This side wave, they're not going to clear themselves, and RORA don't really have the best tool for it.
The thing that makes this decision difficult as well is if Aurora commits and they don't get Eman. Eman has the Holy Crystal. Eman has the potential to get an immediate triple kill, and then once the triple kill has been done, it's going to be very easy for Bigatron Alpha to finish off the fight. So Aurora is playing a losing match here.
Dangerous territory. Luke is so dangerously low. Domain From the back, they see him. Red J trying to just hold on, but he's gonna get blasted by Eman, who is there in the middle of 3 people. Purify out, able to dash to safety. Yue wants to finish him off, finds to terrify Eman. Still dashes away, a kick from Pamela. Eman ends up getting assassinated anyways, despite the best efforts of BTR, and RORA finds the fight that they have been looking for. 4 kills for them. Luke, the only one left alive. Edward jumps on top of him. Demon Kai shows up and just slices him in half. Wipeout for RORA.
It's unfortunate that most of the team fight happened behind the banner. We couldn't really see what's going on, but overall, Bigatron Alpha was able to get the lore, but at what cost? Because Aurora won the team fight. I really believe that everything that we say is just gonna go in reverse. So you know what?
Great working with you.
I'm at a loss for words here. I don't dare use my words.
Honestly, I feel like this only happens when we get paired up. I personally haven't experienced a curse as potent as this.
Are you saying that I should apologize?
No. I'm just saying that it just so happens that when we're together, you know.
Yeah, we have a different kind of chemistry. I'm not saying it's good chemistry, but we have chemistry.
I was looking for the word. You know, Magic Chess. You know the synergy. Yeah, this is the synergy. It's called curse.
Like Abyss.
Yes.
Okay. We're playing like there's a lot of engulf damage, but now it looks like Pamela is scouting as well. Right now, Bigatron Alpha, they're trying to play both sides of the map. Jay finds Iman. I really have to see a replay to see what really happened, but I believe what Aurora did was just kite out of Iman's Zaman force, and then once it times out, then they start engaging. So that's gonna be something that Bigatron Alpha has to keep in mind. That Aurora, they don't wholeheartedly just engage. They're completely willing to have a false engage and then kite away from all these big abilities and then go in again. So it's something that Aman has to keep in mind. Just because he's using the Zaman Force doesn't mean that Aurora will stick and fight it out.
Not just that, but also how, you know, Aurora has some pretty nasty gap closes, right? Like Domain, Yue, Demon Kite. The Terrify from Yue has been so lethal for Bigatron Alpha to deal with. Right? Suddenly you lose control of your hero thanks to the Shadow Strikes. Now Aurora's gonna pivot towards the bottom side. You gotta deal with the wave first. That's one. Open the map. Most importantly, that's where the next lord is going to spawn.
Looking at the situation here, 10 seconds before the Lord spawns, Supercan now has the Malefic Roar. So Renji as well as Edward will be will be in trouble if they actually get caught by Supercan. Looks like Bigatron Alpha does have priority over this Lord. They're gonna pull the Lord over to their side. But again, Aurora looks like with this kind of lineup, they can charge on through because, like you said, Husky, they have a lot of gap closers. So this, like, no matter the situation, it does look like Bigatron Alpha, they have to always be aware of a sudden engage.
Comes to Pamela. You can get any sort of an engage. See Demon Kai. This target is going to go for a good cancel by Edward. That could have been the undoing of Demon Kai. In fact, Luke would be forced away too. So Aurora doing some very good housekeeping, making sure that Bigatron Alpha doesn't get much of a chance to engage. They do lose the top tier 2 thanks to a stacked up minion wave, and that is still going. But Aurora committed to this play. Red J with the conceal looks for Luke first. They're all split apart because the Eternal got stolen by Yue. Pamela in the pit, trying to fish for any opportunity, just cannot find any. Domain now shows up. Liquor kick, unfortunately, wrong direction. Domain will be able to survive. Aurora gets the Lord. Super Ken in the back line, trying to fight for any kill. They're all so low.
No!
Super Ken finds no one. And Demon Kai once more prevails.
That's a feel bad, not just for Hayabusa, but for any assassins. Like, that's a situation where in your mind, this looks like a maniac. I just need to hit one of you. I hit one, and I'll get some kind of momentum, and I can do it again and again and again and again. But Aurora, so elusive, able to dodge away from the Hayabusa so well. That's a feels bad. Like, that's one of those situations that can go incredibly great or incredibly awful. And it's unfortunate that one was incredibly awful.
Oh, it's unfortunate to say the least. 4 low health members on the side of RORA, and none of them were collected. So RORA taking advantage of the Lord. Had to bust down that first inhibitor mid lane, bottom lane now under siege as well. Luke is about to explode, forced to use the split. Bigatron Alpha mounts the base defense for now. RORA finding a decent chunk of a goal lead, 6,000. Doesn't seem like they are stopping though. It might just all come down to Eman to try and keep Bigatron Alpha afloat in this late game phase.
And Aurora is pressuring this inhibitor as well. Looks like Moreno flickered for that, but it doesn't look like he hit anyone. Moreno J gets 4, and now the engage goes in. Moreno is very, very low, but looks like Amon is the first to fall. But looks like Moreno is gonna get taken down by Yue. Demon Kai secures a double kill. And Super Ken is trying his best, but looks like he's gonna get taken down as well. Only Pamela survives the engage from Aurora.
And Reda J with heroics, he's been really struggling to hit big Raging Sandstorms because Bigatron Alpha kept dodging it the whole game, but that one was the only one that really mattered. Aurora takes game 1 over BTR.
Something that I have to say is that we have to watch this game and how did Aurora keep splitting up the team fight, because every single time it doesn't look like Bigatron Alpha has a very clean way. Like we keep seeing Bigatron Alpha getting split up, and I don't know if that's because of Bigatron Alpha or because of Aurora. I tend to believe Aurora forced it. Aurora forced them to split up and then basically forcing a 1v1 5 times.
I agree. Even in the second last fight, we saw Super Ken not able to collect anyone, right? Despite there being 4 low health members, it's the product of RORA just pulling apart BTR's team comp, who really wants to play in a tight area thanks to having the Harif. But once you start kind of gaining distance between yourself and the Harif, Eman really loses a lot of that steam. This entire game really came down to RORA. Renajay, 6 deaths out of 10, but still, he has played a pivotal role in just getting BTR to commit and opening up space for the rest of his team.
By the way, Husky, we're not allowed to say this is a winning or losing lane. You know, just letting you know. Just letting you know. Luke didn't have the best of games. Not saying it's because of Edward, but kind of because of it. At least we can say it didn't look like Edward was having a hard time in lane. It actually looked like Edward was controlling Luke very, very well. And in this game, it looks like Edward's job is honestly just to protect Demon Kite. And he did an amazing job. Every single time you see either Pamela go in, Super Ken go in, or Luke go in, Edward is there to prevent any kind of engages going in. So I feel like Aurora has some kind of buddy system where they have, I don't know, like Team A, Team B. You have 2 different team fights in one setting.
I mean, I would even go as far as to say that, you know, Yue is one of the hidden MVPs in a lot of these team fights, right? Like the peel that he provides for his team is so valuable because it stops BTR from just running in their face. They handle Super Ken incredibly well. Obviously, we see BTR reach the point where they felt like they needed to make something happen. You know, we saw that with Moreno, we saw that with Super Ken, and even with Pamela too. RORA just a lot more composed when all the chips are down.
Yeah, I feel like the thing that Bigatron Alpha has to be careful going into game number 2 is how they approach the team fights, because they look very split when it comes to, especially during the Lord Dance, where their positioning is, it almost looks like they try to, what is kapong in English? What is kapong?
Oh, surround.
Yeah. They're trying to surround Aurora. Like, they try to circle Aurora in by creating a box around them, but it really didn't look like that was a good idea going up against Aurora. It didn't look